Good evening and welcome to another amazing session of Travelan webinars. This is your host Harnoor Singh for the evening. Today we are going to discuss one of the most hot selling destinations in the Indian travel market, which is Bali. And the tremendous response that we have received for this webinar also justifies the same. We have a lot of our travel agent partners who were asking for a lot to us for a lot of time that we should start Bali because our team has done really well in other island destinations as well, like Maldives and Mauritius. So today I feel proud to announce that we have started taking queries for Bali as well, and we are doing good amount of business over there, and our travel agent partners are really happy with our services as well. So this session will be very enriching for those who are planning to start Bali, and for those who are already working on this destination. We have some very exciting offerings and special deals for you. So stay tuned as we proceed further in today's session. And now I would like to welcome the speaker for the day, Miss Zeenat. Hi Zeenat, how are you?
Hi Harnoor, I'm good. आप कैसे हो?
Yes, and it's a pleasure to have you here because you are working on Bali as a destination for a very long time, and your agents are also asking a lot of questions to you. So I believe this platform will help them a lot to get answers to all their queries at one time only. So I believe we should begin with the presentation without any delays.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Zeenat, and I have been working with TravClan as a business manager. All right. So let's talk about Bali. So Bali is one of the most popular destinations in the Indian market, as Harnoor already told us. But why is it so popular? Not just because it is a friendly destination or a friends-based destination. Everyone can visit it. It is best for the honeymooners. It is best for the family members who want to travel there. At a budget. It's not a cheap destination, but yes, yeah, Bali is one of those popular budget destination that you can go and enjoy. And Bali as a destination is mixed of both mountains and beaches all together. So it's not just a beach country or maybe a beach destination. It's a mix of both mountains and destinations. So we'll start with the Bali. I'll just share my screen. Hope my screen is visible, Harnoor.
Yes, yes.
ऑल राइट ठीक है सो बाली के बारे में स्टार्ट करते हैं हम बाली मच अवेटेड कंट्री जो काफी टाइम से ओपन ही हुई थी इट वाज इन द न्यूज सिंस लास्ट 1 ईयर की अब ओपन हो रही है आफ्टर मॉलदीव्स दुबई ओपन हो गया मॉरिशस ओपन हो गया सिंगापुर थाईलैंड सब ओपन हो गया बट बाली वाज लेफ्ट so we are starting Bali as a destination now as you already know we are doing Dubai Maldives Thailand Singapore Mauritius Bali is next on our list ठीक है so let me give a brief about Bali. So Bali as a country is a wonderful ecological, and very enriched destination. It has mountains, it has beaches, it has volcanoes, it has a lot of rice terraces. It is filled with architecture, it is filled with history, it is filled with culture, and then it is best for both, who is a nature loving person or who is into history or art and architecture. So before selling Bali as a destination to your clients, to your customers, we should know where is it located, ताकि हम उसको कैसे sell करें आगे, and how it will benefit or enrich the experience of your customers. So Bali is basically lies over here. It is not the capital of Indonesia. Indonesia का capital as you know कि जकार्ता है. तो Bali is one of those island जो popular है Indonesia में. As you can see over here in the map and the cursor that I'm pointing at, यहाँ पे बाली located है छोटा सा बाली है यहाँ पे जकार्ता है and it is quite far from India. If you see, this is India and यहाँ पे Bali है and that is why it takes around more than 7 hours to reach Bali and there is no direct flights to Bali right now. So Bali lies up approximately 8 degrees south of the equator and there are neighboring islands like Java, Lombok and it is the same time zone as Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, and Perth. So Bali is 2.5 hours ahead from India. Next, starting with Bali. So Bali has a population of approximately 4.8 million people, and इसकी capital city डेनपसर है. मतलब बाली का कोई capital नहीं है, but the capital city डेनपसर है. डेनपसर में ही यहाँ पे international airport है बाली का, which is also known as Bali Negurai Rai International Airport, and it is the Indonesia's second busiest international airport. तो आप उसे समझ जाओगे, how popular is it in the market, or how popular is it in the whole travel industry. That it is second busiest airport. The first one is Jakarta, and world में third busiest airport है. So again, world में third busiest होना समझ में आता है उसकी popularity के बारे में. So आप check कर सकते हो कि बाली as a destination, as a ऑन दी मैप कैसे दिखता है. ये एक फिश की तरह दिखता है. अगर आप एक चेक करो, यहाँ पे नॉर्थ बाली है, यहाँ पे सेंट्रल बाली है, द उबुद, ज्ञानयार, एंड जो सारे आपके फेमस सिटीज हैं, फेमस पॉइंट्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, एंड दैट लाइज इन द साउथ ऑफ द बाली. आप तनहलौद, सेमिनिया, क्लेजियान, कूटा, ये सारा आपका साउथ कहलाता है. एंड दिस इज नॉर्थ, एंड दिस इज उबुद ओवर हियर मिडिल, एंड आपका काफी ज्यादा फॉरेस्टेड एरिया है. So we'll talk about all these cities in depth and in later in the presentation. And Denpasar, जैसे the airport that I'm talking about, that is located over here. So usually we try to sell the hotels, we try to give the sightseeing majorly in the south area, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपको cheap properties मिल जाते हैं, and आपको काफी budgeted resorts, budgeted hotels भी मिल जाते हैं. But then again, if someone is wanting to go for luxury resorts, villas, so Bali में there are a lot of options available for that too. And also ये वाला area आपका south area काफी lively रहता है, and people like to stay over here more because यहाँ पे parties, beaches, a lot of other sightseeing यहाँ पे ज्यादा available रहती है. And as you go, यहाँ पे आपके transfers वगैरह भी ज्यादा लगते हैं. यहाँ पे आपके north पे रहने में या फिर mid में रहने में, there is a lot of time it takes to go to all the other sightseeing. So we'll talk about the later sightseeing in the next slides. All right. So when you're trying to sell a destination, the major and important thing to tell your customer is the weather. Why weather? क्योंकि you should always know कि आप कौन से time में जा रहे हो, what is the best time, what is the peak season, what is the low season. आप कब उसको expensive sell कर सकते हो, कब उसको आप cheap पे sell कर सकते हो. तो Bali as a destination has a tropical monsoon climate, and उसका weather it varies from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius only. इतना ज़्यादा वहाँ पे गर्मी नहीं आती है. Then starting with the weather, so Bali का जो weather रहता है, जो बारिश का time है, the rainy season, it starts from November to April. So in the coming months, the November to April will be a very humid, very rainy season. People also travel in that time because it's again holiday season all over the world. It is the Christmas season, it is the New Year season, so people do travel. वहाँ पे जो बारिश होती है, it's not very heavy, so people do travel at that time, but you are not advised much कि humidity में जाना and rain में जाना. But there is a dry season, so there are just two seasons in Bali. One is dry season and one is the wet season. The dry season falls from May to October, which is this period जो अभी का time चल रहा है, these months. So इस time में best weather रहता है. There is a plenty of sunshine and everything is quite pretty overall. All right, so जैसे हमने discuss करा था कि there are just two seasons in Bali right now, and when we talk about the peak season या फिर कब आपका off peak season रहते हैं, so the peak season occurs from early July until the end of August. So next month आपका बहुत ही high season है बेचने का Bali. You should start pitching your clients apart from the other destination कि आप Bali जाओ. यहाँ पे आपको काफी अच्छा experience मिलेगा. And the off peak season starts from October and March, where regions are less crowded and accommodation prices are cheaper. Again, जैसे आपको already पता है, the peak season में सब कुछ busy हो जाता है, expensive हो जाता है ना. Off peak season में October and March, यहाँ पे आपको cheaper prices में सारे आपको accommodations और आपके जितने भी sightseeing है, समझ लिया कि क्लाइमेट कैसा है उस डेस्टिनेशन का, वो कहाँ पे लोकेटेड है. बट वी शुड ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड कि आप इंडिया से ट्रैवल करोगे, यू विल बी सेलिंग Bali to the Indian travelers. वो कैसे पहुंचेंगे, कैसे जाएंगे, there will be a lot of questions and concerns from your customers. So Bali में जैसे हमने पढ़ा था कि there is a Denpasar airport, Nagurai International Airport. So and उसका international code है airport का DPS. ये 13 किलोमीटर साउथ ऑफ Denpasar है. So जो आप मैप देख सकते हो, so there is no direct flight from Bali. There is no direct flight from India to Bali. जो आपकी फ्लाइट जाती है वो यूजुअली आपकी बैंकॉक, सिंगापुर और मलेशिया में जाके लेओवर लेती है फॉर सम आवर्स, एंड देन इट रीचेस टू बाली. सो अगेन मुंबई, दिल्ली या फिर आप कोई नॉर्थ से फ्लाइट लोगे तो इट विल बी बिट एक्सपेंसिव, बट एज कम्पेयर टू केरला, हैदराबाद, मे बी चेन्नई, वो आपकी थोड़ी लेग्स एक्सपेंसिव होगी बिकॉज अगेन वेरी सिंपल लॉजिक, इट इज calculation of the distance from one destination to another. So there are no direct flights from Bali. They has to go via Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. And जो आप type की airlines लोगे, for example आप Singapore Airlines ले रहे हो, then you know the layover will be at Singapore. आप Malaysian Malindo Airlines ले रहे हो, तो Malaysia में रहेगा. तो आपकी ये वाली रहती है. The cheapest flight will be Malindo. Of course that can be varying and वो dynamic रहता है. Next flight duration आपकी बहुत ज्यादा होती है just because of the layover. There are no direct flights from India to Bali. आप जैसे यहाँ पे डेस्टिनेशन में देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पे इतनी दूर पड़ता है, ये थाईलैंड और सिंगापुर से भी बहुत दूर है. इट इज ओवर द इक्वेटर के नीचे आ रहा है, तो यहाँ देयर डिस्टेंस इज क्वाइट मच. Then next is visa. So visa guidelines अभी के लिए as for Indian travelers it is free of cost. So Bali is one of the destinations जो Indians free of cost मतलब it is free of cost for Indians, and you know if the passport is valid for 6 months you can directly go and you know visa on arrival रहता है आपका, so आप directly कर सकते हो. So currency, when you are going to you know go to some country and आप वहाँ की अगर currency नहीं समझते हो, then that can be very difficult for customers to manage their expenses over there. चाहे उनको sightseeing के time कुछ करना है, चाहे उनको किसी normal अपने food के लिए, beverage के लिए वहाँ पे spend करना है. So currency of Bali is Indonesian rupiah, and Indonesian rupiah is comparatively very cheap in as compared to the INR. But it is advisable कि हम लोग INR में cash ना carry करें, and one should you know convert their money into dollars, क्योंकि वहाँ पे dollars सब use करते हैं. Everyone uses dollars over there, and it is very easy and accessible to use dollars all over the place. And it is also advisable कि आप you don't carry IDR also, so you know they can get converted into USD directly at the Bali markets. Then talking about the languages. So whenever you visit a country, you should know their culture. So so that you pay respect to the culture. You don't, you know, you may say you don't forcefully do such things that can harm their culture. So you can just, you know, learn some things about the culture, their languages also. So Balinese is the most local first language, and their tourism and their, you know, main occupation or main people over there are involved into tourism as an occupation. So the main source of income is from Bali. So main source of income of Bali is from tourism only. A large portion of people speak English also, just because you know there are people all over from the world that go to Bali, not just Indians. So they know English as a language. So, but Balinese is the most first local language over there. So this is one of these words that I came across. Jisko what is Namaste is called in you know Balinese. It's called Om Swasti Astu. So you can just you know, let your customers know okay, what is this, and they can whenever they are going to temples or they are meeting local people or they are meeting to the markets or anything, they can use this word. Okay, so when we are talking Bali as a destination, we should know what major points of cities are there in Bali and how they can go and explore them at the fullest. So Bali has a lot of particular beach destination, mountain destination that I told you about, mountain cities that I talked about. So we'll cover one by one. So Denpasar is the capital course of Bali that we have talked about. It is located at the south end of the Bali. यहीं पे airport है. Next is Kuta. So Kuta is one of those beach destination that you can relate more with Goa, more with you know all these beach cities. So Kuta is very lively and have a very good nightlife. There are a lot of bars, clubs, pubs, and you can always have a good time with the friends if you're going to Bali. Next is Ubud. Ubud is located centrally in the Bali, and Ubud is the ideal getaway in terms of if you want to explore natural things. आपको कभी you know forest के बीच में रहना है, forest के बीच में you can book a property, book a good villa, and you can enjoy the natural climate over there. It is filled with rich, you may say, flora all around. Then we have Canggu. So Canggu is basically located on the south side of the Bali itself, and it is famous for its adventure activities. It is located between Seminyak and Tanhalot. So Seminyak and Tanhalot are also cities of Bali. They're also famous for their nightlife and their you know beach clubs and beach resorts. And it is famous for its rice field. So Bali as a destination also has a lot of rice fields, just because you know वहाँ पे ज़्यादा rice की production होती है. Then we talk about Nusa Dua. So this famous picture that you have may have come across Bali जब भी आप Bali search करते हो तो this is basically Nusa Dua. So Nusa Dua is also a very famous area or spot in Bali that is, for the quite good quality of hotels and resorts. So there are a lot of high-end resorts. There are a lot of high-end hotels that are located in Nusa Dua. So these were some cities in Bali that we covered: Kuta, Canggu, Nusa Dua, Ubud. So you should know at least ये वाले destination because यहीं पे ज़्यादा आपका tourism आपको दिखेगा, यहीं पे आपको ज़्यादा आपका customers के साथ मतलब they will request you कि मुझे उबुद जाना है, मुझे कुछ nights कूटा में रहना है, मुझे कुछ nights उबुद में रहना है. So ये वाले cities आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Then places to visit in Bali. So again sightseeing, किसी भी आपको destination की जाननी है, किसी भी destination के बारे में समझना, you should always know the sightseeing. Famous sightseeing जो usually लोग मांगते हैं. Of course offbeat sightseeing भी सबको जानना पड़ता है, but eventually you have to sell first the main sightseeing. So we are starting with Tanha Lot. So Bali as a destination, as I already told you about, has a lot of temples. I mean, there are around 20,000 temples all around in Bali. Bali is a very, मतलब वो लग सकता है और it may, people may come across कि it's a very beach destination or maybe it's a friendly destination, but there are a lot of temples, history, culture all around in Bali that one visits all around. So we are starting with Tanha Lot. So Tanha Lot is a rock island temple. It is home to the ancient Hindu pilgrimage temple, Pura Tanha Lot. So Pura means Pura in Balinese is a temple. So Tanha Lot uska naam hai कि it's a temple. So यहाँ पे आप जाते हो, usually people go here for the sunsets, for the watching the traditional dances of Bali. यहाँ पे perform होता है वो रात में, and the best timings are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So and usually second half में आपके cover होता है. I mean you start with around 4 p.m. आप 4 बजे the driver will come and pick you up for this whole 3 temples का excursion रहता है यहाँ पे. इसके आसपास 2 और temples है, तो वो आपको तीनों टेम्पल्स घुमाते हैं, यहाँ पे लास्ट में आपको ड्रॉप कर देते हैं. यू कैन एंजॉय एंड टेक योर प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम टू क्लिक पिक्चर्स, understand and talk to people around, and you can watch the beautiful sunsets over here. And then uske baad, after 5 p.m. you're not allowed to go into the temple. Not allowed. I mean, you can't take the entry over the temple. So and then second temple is Pura Luhur. Pura Luhur Uluwatu Temple. So you can see from the picture कि काफी पुराने जमाने का बना हुआ है. The architecture over here is different and it is located on the top of a mountain. तो आप यहाँ से अगर देखोगे तो it is basically a complete walk जो आपको करनी होती है. And then you come inside the temple and you click pictures, you pay homage to the Balinese gods and everyone. So it is perched on the Uluwatu. It's called Uluwatu Temple in short. If you want to tell about your customers, so it is one of the 6 temples believed to be Bali's spiritual pillars. So Bali ne in the Bali culture, it is meant that there are 6 main temples, and Pura Luhur Uluwatu is one of those temples. So it is mainly famous for its magnificent location. So आप देख सकते हो already it's Indian Ocean के सामने एकदम है, इतना pretty लग रहा है ये temple, and you take a walk, you can click so many photos over here. And again it is famous for its sunset temple. Now all the temples that you go especially for sunset वो एक ही दिन में cover नहीं हो सकती है. So usually both these temples are done in 2 different days. कि आप second half day tour इसका आप 3 बजे से 4 बजे से you can start and do all these temples. All right, so we'll talk about rice terraces in Bali. So again, whenever you search Bali, whenever you search on Google, you may come across these rice terraces. So Bali is famous for its rice terraces in abundance, apart from the temples. So one of these rice terraces, Tegalagang rice terraces, that is based in Ubud, central Bali. So Ubud, just a second. So this is a traditional Balinese irrigation system. Rice terraces, as you know, is an irrigation system. And over here, you can go and click pictures. There are swings. There is a coffee plantation over here that is served to you. As you can see in this picture, this heart-shaped nest that is made. Then you can click photos over here. You can also enjoy the swings over here. So this is one of the rice terraces that is done for Ubud. Next are the Bali Swings. So Bali Swings again have become very popular, extremely popular because of Instagram, because of how Instagram worthy they are. They can be quite dangerous. They can be sometimes dangerous, not always, but people especially go to Bali, most of the honeymooners, you may say, might request you for the Bali swings. They want to go and click pictures over there. So Bali swings is one of that. So it's a very thrilling and very adventurous activity that people do along with the rice terraces. This is one of that thing. So it takes around 20 minutes to drive from Ubud center. If you're staying in Ubud, you do this rice terraces, you do these Bali swings, and you can click pictures in that, whatever they have made a picturesque nest or maybe spots over there. And the timings are again from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can find the swings everywhere. Now it has become so popular that you will find these swings in a lot of places wherever the rice terraces are present. Next, coming to the Ubud monkey forest. So monkey forest in Bali are again popular. The monkeys over here are very different. Different as in terms of how friendly they are with people, with tourists over the period of time. So if you go and click pictures with them, or if you give them food, they'll be very calm, or they'll might enjoy that. Not unlike monkeys in India. I'm not, being very sarcastic, but there are times where I have heard that they are very sweet and they're very calm. And so Ubud Monkey Forest is especially a popular place to go if you are going with your kids, especially. So you can pitch Ubud Monkey Forest when you travel to the customers who have kids or small toddlers, that they can go and enjoy this lush greenery and आसपास सारे इतने सारे monkeys होते हैं, so they can enjoy it. Again, this is clubbed with Ubud Royal Palace. So Ubud Royal Palace is basically related to their royalty and their kings and their old culture and old, you may say, history. And then it is clubbed with Ubud Art Market. So Ubud में ही Ubud Monkey Forest है, Ubud Royal Palace है, and Ubud Art Market है, जो तीनों एक साथ क्लब किया जाता है. People can go to the Monkey Forest first, then visit the Royal Palace, and then go for some shopping in the Ubud Art Market. So you may see a lot of jute bags, jute से related clothes, materials वहाँ पे बने होते हैं, so they can shop there. Next, we have come to waterfalls. So Bali as a destination that I remember of, that I know of, is filled with waterfalls, filled with mountains, filled with beaches, and Secumple waterfall is one of them. So the Secumple waterfall is a cluster of 7 falls in total. It's, as you can see in the picture, it's such a huge waterfall, it's surrounded with so much of lush green trees and everything forested. So you will enjoy it over there. People will enjoy over there. They again go for the whole half day tour over there, or they may take a full day tour over here. कि वो यहाँ पे सुबह सुबह चले जाते हैं, or maybe they go in the daybreak, and then they spend a lot of good time over there, because आपको थोड़ा सा walk करना पड़ता है. Then you enjoy the whole waterfall activity over there. Then you come back and then you visit the nearby places. So Secumple waterfall is one over here. Timings 24 hours, but usually after 7 p.m. you're not allowed to go over in the waterfall, inside the waterfall. Then is the Besaki Temple. So Besaki Temple is also known as the Mother Temple. And if you have heard about, there is this temple जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा Instagram photos होती हैं. People literally stay over here for long queues, just because यहाँ पे gate है जो अगर आप वहाँ पे फोटो खिंचवाते हो तो ऐसा लगता है कि you have entered in heaven. So this is that temple, if you know of, or if you have come across such a picture. So Besaki Temple is one of them. Again, it is very pretty and it is very rich in history, and people take spend a lot of time over here. Since this temple is very far and it is located more in the northern side, so it takes a lot of time, and it's not clubbed with any more temples in one day only. Bali Safari and Marine Park. This you may say sightseeing again is done when you have kids, or you can pitch to your customers if they are very into animals and they are very nature loving. So Bali Safari and Marine Park is a normal marine park. There are a lot of animals over here. Somewhere around 100 species are included in this marine park. Nothing very special, but there is just one animal, or you may say reptile, komodo, that is present over here, and it's more like a lizard type. So you can come across that. So opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, and it's a normal marine park, and it's like other marine parks and another safaris wale park that you can see in Singapore or Malaysia. And it also has a night safari, Bali Agung show. So Agung basically is a fire show that is held over here inside the park, and it is done every day except Mondays, and it is also dependent on the seat availability. So there is also one resort in this Bali Marine Park, and you can stay over here for one night. They will serve you all the meals, and you can come across all these animals जो आपके आसपास होते हैं. All right. So famous Mount Batur trek. So Bali as a destination is a one of those destinations जहाँ पे volcanoes है. So there are two volcanoes, active volcanoes in Bali. One is Mount Agung and one is Mount Batur, and both of them are famous for their views, for their trekking spot. So Mount Batur में सबसे ज़्यादा popular trek spot होता है, and there are uh, जो spot होता है मतलब it's very adventurous, and but there is just one thing कि अगर आपको ये ट्रैक करना है, then you have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. आपका ड्राइवर आता है, it will pick you up, it will take you to the spot. फिर वहां से ट्रैक स्टार्ट होते हैं, then you come across the sunrise at 5 p.m. 6 p.m. whenever it happens. So it's a lot of hassle, and जिसको करना होता है वही जाता है, वरना nobody wants to wake up at 3 a.m. in Bali. So yeah, but the views are amazing and splendid. And if you have customers who are very adventurous, who want to go for adventurous activity, who want to calm down their adrenaline, they should definitely go to Mount Batur. So it takes roughly around 2 hours to reach the top of the summit, and the best time to visit Mount Batur is between May and October, because just again बारिश नहीं होगी आपकी, and आपको काफी अच्छे views दिखेंगे यहाँ पे. So we talked about all these cities in Bali and what all sightseeing were there in Bali. Now we'll talk about the Bali के आसपास और क्या है, and how it can be also included in your sightseeing, how it can be clubbed, and how you can sell it out. So Bali के आसपास छोटे-छोटे और islands हैं that are clubbed with the main cities, and you can sell them out. So we'll start them with one by one. So you can see from the map, this is Bali. यहाँ पे आपके छोटे-छोटे islands हैं. यहाँ पे पहला आपका नूसा लिम्बोंगन है, यहाँ पे आपका नूसा पेनिदा है, then it is गिली त्रिवांगन, गिली मेनोंग, गिली एयर, and this is also one island Lombok. So बाली के अगर आप जो day tours लो, या फिर if you are going to stay in all these islands at least for one night also, it start all over from here, from Sanur. सनूर से आप, सनूर इज बेसिकली हार्बर स्पॉट. यहाँ से आपकी जेटीज जाती है, यहाँ पे आपके छोटे छोटे यॉट्स होते हैं, छोटे छोटे स्पीड बोट होते हैं, जो यहाँ से आपको एक एक करके हर आइलैंड में लेके जाते हैं. गिली आइलैंड्स आर बेसिकली 3 आइलैंड्स, मतलब स्टार्टिंग से गिली त्रिवांगन, गिली मेनो, गिली एयर. गिली एयर इज द स्मॉलेस्ट वन, गिली त्रिवांगन इज द सबसे बिगेस्ट वन ओवर हियर. And then there is Nusa Penida and Nusa Lembongan. We'll talk about all these islands in the next slides. So starting with Nusa Lembongan, I'll just share in the map again. We are talking about the Nusa Lembongan island over here. So Nusa Lembongan is located in the southeast of the Bali, and it is again famous for its coral reefs, its water activities, and it takes around 30 minutes to from the Sanur Beach. Again, this is the Sanur Beach. यहाँ से आप जाते हो न्यूसा लेम्बोंगन, so यहाँ पे आपके around 30 minutes लगते हैं. Usually the jetties and usually the speed boats take around 30 minutes, and आपको सुबह 10 a.m. 9 a.m. आपकी सारी फिक्स टाइमिंग्स होती हैं. पहले आपको वहां से हार्बर तक जाना पड़ेगा, देन दे विल टेक यू अराउंड टू दिस. सो आपकी यहाँ पे डे ट्रिप्स भी रहती हैं. सो थिंग्स टू डू, यू कैन डू पैडल बोट, you can do surfing, you can do snorkeling, you can do cliff jumping, diving, and you can also take a walk around the villages. So they stop there for some time. They take you to this beach, and वहाँ पे आप relax कर सकते हो, you can have your food, you can go through the villages. वहाँ पे village के कुछ activities depend करते हैं from where you are taking it, so they can also involve you in those their cultural village activities also. So ऐसी कुछ photos हैं. This is one of those snorkeling and scuba diving if you are doing in Nusa Lembongan. Next is Nusa Penida. So that this is mainly so sorry. Next is Nusa Lembongan, that is famous for the birds watcher paradise. So Bali as a destination, flora fauna बहुत enriched. So उसके आसपास के भी जो islands है, that are also very rich in flora and fauna. Also, it has a lot of Hindu temples. It has a lot of other limestone formations. So Nusa Dua, Nusa Lembongan, they are all very again famous because of the Instagram. They are also very famous because of the influencers. So people will ask you कि मुझे यहाँ पे ये जगह जाना है, मुझे Diamond Beach देखना है. So these are all located in this Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan. And how do you reach? Again by speedboats, public ferries from Bali via Sanur, from Nusa Lembongan via public boats. So things to do in Nusa Penida: normal bird watching, cave excursions. You can also visit the caves in the village and do scuba diving. So ये ऐसे आपके limestone वाले rock formation that I was talking about. यहाँ पे they attach one stairs होते हैं वहाँ पे, तो यहाँ से आप you go down, you ascend down, you descend down, you enjoy your time at the beach, you do some activities, and then you come back again. Okay, now we are talking about the Gili, जो हमने छोटे छोटे islands देखे थे, those 3 islands, Gili, Trivangan, Gili, Menno and Gili है. So Gili, Trivangan के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. So Gili, Trivangan, why these all Gili islands are very called hippie experiences, because they are very backpacker wala, they have a very backpacker vibe. They also are very cheap. They have very cheap accommodations. They have very बहुत सस्ते में आप वहाँ पे रह सकते हो for one night if you want to go. And it is advised कि आप one night at least stay करो if you are Gili to Gili Trivangan. And since it is very not very far, but yeah, it takes much more time than Nusa Penida and Nusa Lembongan. It's around 104 kilometers from Bali. And how do you reach it? Again via boat from Sanur in Bali. Things to do: you can do yoga, it's scuba diving, surfing, partying at night, beaches hai, there is a party. You may also pitch, there are a lot of people who ask कि कहीं पे party हो रही है, मुझे वो वाले beaches में जाना है, मुझे वो वाले islands पे रुकना है, I want to go for a backpacker वाला experience में मुझे जाना है. So you can pitch Gili Trivangan and you can make a night, or you can ask them for a आप एक night यहाँ पे रुको. So as you can see over there, this is Gili A, Gili Menno and Gili Trivangan. Gili A तो आप एक दिन में ही मतलब you can cover this directly by a walk. इतना छोटा है ये. And there are over here ऐसे आपकी swings वगैरह connected होते हैं in this all these islands. So famous beaches of Bali. So when we talk about Bali as a destination, we have covered so many things. Why we should know the beaches? Because people especially stay near these beaches. Beach resorts बहुत होते हैं. They are particularly known for their nightlife. So one is Kuta Beach, that is known for its long sandy beach. The next is Sanur Beach, यहाँ पे annual Bali Kites Festival होता है. Nusa Dua Beach में it's very famous for their water activities, jet skiing, parasailing, banana boat rides. So you can club temple in the morning, you can club these water activities in the evening. So you can club all these things together. Then is Lovina Beach. So Lovina Beach is located in the north of the Bali. It is famous for its black sand beaches just because of the volcanic eruptions and Bali as a destination. So वहाँ पे black sand beaches है, वहाँ पे dolphins होते हैं, वहाँ पे आपका dolphin cruise भी जाता है, coral reefs होते हैं. Jimbaran Beach is known for its famous sunsets and the seafood. Uluwatu Beach is known for its surfing and paddle boarding. Next is traditional Bali dishes. So when you're going to a country, you are really amazed by how enriched their food also is. Bali as a destination, aspas pani hai, then it will be very popular for the seafood people or people who are very enthusiastic about trying new dishes. So there are a lot of food that they can try. One is something related to chicken, beef, pork, anything like that. Of course there are a lot of Indian restaurants as well, or vegetarian dishes available as well. So it's no such thing आपके सिर्फ non-vegetarian customers ही जा सकते हैं. Vegetarian customers and everyone can go and enjoy the best of Diwali. Then there are a lot of Indian restaurants also available over here for tandoori chicken, normal thalis, for biryanis, for dal makhani and normal veggies. So यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ ये note down करे हुए हैं, कुछ list down करे हुए हैं. You can have a look after the presentation, and as it will be all recorded. Best restaurants and clubs in Bali, there are many, but I have just listed down a few. Potato Head Beach Club, it's famous for its tacos, seafood, the flapjacks, Watercress Cafe, Fins Beach Club, Kudeta. So all these famous beaches, beach clubs, you can pitch to your clients. They might ask you मुझे यहाँ पे जाना है, मैं कौन से beach पे रहूँ, मैं कौन से जगह पे stay करूँ. So you can give a mix of both. So when talking about Bali, so Bali is a budget country, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have 4-star or 5-star properties. I have listed on a few properties that are very popular, that are very popular in the market, or you can pitch all 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. 4-star आपका Nusa Dua में बहुत मिलेगा. You might also get a lot of villas in Ubud. So Bali as a destination, people usually stay, some nights in a hotel and some nights in a good villa with the private pool. Private pool is very famous in Bali, and it was assumed कि वहाँ से private pool वाला culture भी थोड़ा सा आपका generate हुआ, थोड़ा सा it it arose from Bali. So also honeymooners usually go for the villas. वो वहाँ पे जाते हैं. They also get a good honeymoon decoration, candlelight dinner in the villas. It is already arranged by the people. Of course, it will be at an extra cost. But yes, you can club both the hotels and both the villas in Bali. So famous villas in Bali: Kings Villa Sanur, Bali Prime, Alindra, Bali Cozy Villa, the Sakai Villa, Inivi Villa. आप जैसे मैं आपको कह रही थी, the candlelight dinner and everything is reached. So in the second picture over here, you see यहाँ पे private pool है, यहाँ पे आपका candlelight dinner arranged है. Then again यहाँ पे floating breakfast भी arranged है. So all these villas are very pretty and they are very famous, especially for the honeymooners. So if you have honeymooners customer, and even not just honeymooners, you can also pitch this to the a lot of groups that go together. They can rent, they can go for this villas and enjoy their best. So let's talk about packages now. Usually Bali में लोग 4 nights to 5 nights का stay लेते हैं. 4 nights if they are on a budget, or maybe they just want to go for 4 nights. 5 nights if they want to explore more, if they want to go around all over. North भी करना है, south भी करना है, and then everything together, all this mixed of activities, all this mixed of accommodations. So I have listed down a very normal itinerary over here that includes, for example, we can just go through one. So 4 nights वाला हम देखते हैं. सो फर्स्ट डे आप आते हो, अराइवल करते हो. नॉर्मल डे आपका लेजर पे रहता है बिकॉज देर इज 9 घंटे फ्लाइट से आप आते हो. वी ट्राई कि आप पहले दिन आराम करो, आप रेस्ट करो. नेक्स्ट डे हाफ डे वाटर स्पोर्ट्स लो, एंड उसके बाद किंतामनी इज बेसिकली भी आपका माउंट बटूर साइड जहाँ पे एक्टिव वोल्केनो है. किंतामनी, अब माउंट बटूर यू कैन आइदर गो फॉर अ ट्रेक और आइदर गो टू द किंतामनी एरिया, जहाँ से यू कैन विजिट द माउंट बटूर. वी आर नॉट गोइंग डायरेक्टली टू माउंट बटूर, बट वहां से क्रू आते हैं. देर आर कैफेज ओवर देर, देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर एक्टिविटीज ओवर देर दैट यू कैन गो एंड एक्सप्लोर इट. Ubud में you can go to Ubud mountains, sorry, Ubud markets and everywhere. वहाँ पे waterfall tour हो गया. You can then transfer to the villa. Villa में you stay for some time. You get half day temple tour. आप temples देखो. Next day आप it is also arranged with a candlelight dinner at villa, and the next day departure. This similarly अगर 5 nights में हो, then we can give you another a lot of other activities also. And then if you want to club and इसको भरना है आपको activity से, if the customer asks you, then you can also add as they want. So, fun facts about Bali. So, Kopi Luwak, most expensive coffee in the world. So, Kopi Luwak is, this animal that you see, this small mammal that you see over here is called Luwak. So, this is an animal. So, Kopi Luwak, जो most expensive coffee है in the world, it is made out of this animal's poop. So, it's a very funny thing, but yes, उसके poop से बनती है, उसके excrete से बनती है. So, when the जो उसके बाद they give it and test it out. People also buy it over there. So this is one another fun fact about Bali that you can see in the rice terraces. So rice terraces में एक activity यहाँ पे the all those people who have their rice terraces वो वहाँ पे coffees का display रखते हैं, and different flavors भी होते हैं इसके. So this is one of that. Black sand. Next, talking about black sand. So Bali, since it's a very volcanic part of the Indonesia, there are volcanic eruptions. That is why it has resulted in the black color of the sand. So जो Lovina Beach that जहाँ पे dolphins होते हैं, so black sand that is why is prevalent and present over there. Then next, talking about 2 seasons down, dry season, wet season. Usually countries में, especially India में, जैसे इतने सारे season है, you have autumn, you have winters, you have monsoon, so many things, summer, spring. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ 2 season है. One is dry season, one is wet season. So it's very unique thing about Bali. Then is Neapi Day, silent day of Bali. So Neapi Day falls on the 2nd of March of every year. Basically silent day इसलिए बोला जाता है, it is firstly related to their history, related to their backstories of the country, and nothing over on that day especially कुछ होता नहीं है. You can't take a sightseeing, you can't take a tour. मतलब if you request if for example अभी तो मतलब मार्च चला गया, but if next year ऐसे कोई आपके पास query आती है and it's falling on 2nd day, then that will be a day at leisure, and day at leisure, and it will be day at stay in the hotel itself. People don't go out. उनके traditional you may say वहाँ पे morning होती है, तो it's called a silent day of Bali. Then tourist destination. So Bali, again, as I told you, it is fully dependent on tourism. 80% of the total earnings of Bali comes from tourism. So itne time se wo band tha, and now it has opened, and now I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very boom for the country. So dhire dhire, a lot of countries, as they open up, as they start allowing Indians or allowing other nationalities to come, the tourism will come into a good alignment. And next, Bali has temples. Like I already told you, it has 20,000 temples. I mean, हम लोग तो सिर्फ थोड़े temples cover करते हैं in a 4 nights, 5 nights thing. But it has 20,000 temple. All of them are very different. All of them are based on their Balinese gods, and they are extremely pretty, extremely old, and extremely filled with unique vibes and experiences. Okay, so that is it from my side. I mean, we can start with the questions and any other doubts you have.
Right. Thank you so much, Zenith, for this amazing and wonderful presentation. And I am sure this was enriching for all our travel agent partners. And yes, we have received a lot of questions and queries that you will have to answer to all our travel agent partners. But just before we begin with the Q&A session, I would like to tell the audience that if there are still any doubts left, they can still post them in the live chat and we'll answer them in this Q&A session. So let's begin with the session. And the first question we have is, right. So the first question we have is from Travel Expedia. And the question is that please advise on travel SOP for Bali.
Okay. So right now, Bali has allowed Indians to travel, and they have given the opportunity कि जो भी fully vaccinated travelers are, they can come to the country, and there are no COVID restrictions. But again, like other countries, if you are just one vaccinated or one dose of vaccination is there, then you would have to quarantine. Hello.
Yes, Zenith, you are audible.
All right. Okay. I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So yeah, Bali has given the opportunity for the Indians and other destinations, other nationalities as well. If you are fully vaccinated, then there is no RT-PCR required. But yes, you should. It's a very cheap destination. It's a very budget destination. You don't have to carry a lot of things, but just be advised that you are following their, culture, especially when you are going to the temples, or when you are, going to places where their history or where their guidelines have to be followed. For example, in temples, you know how to go for the clothing, you know how to pay homage to their gods, and not make fun of them. So you can of course advise the same to your clients related to that.
Right. So let's move to the next question. And the next question we have is from Mr. Prashant, and they are asking from Bali, how can we go to Ubud and other sightseeing destination, and how much times does it take to reach over there?
Okay, so basically आपका जो उबुद होता है, so that is in the central Bali. From, if you're, for example, if you're staying in south, if you're staying in Kuta, then Pasara, Semenya, so it takes roughly around 2 to 3 hours. But then you halt in between, you go for some activities or some other sightseeing in between, and then reach Ubud. And the coach takes you around Ubud, and takes you around the whole Bali in one go, as in the whole tour.
Right. So coming to the next question, and the next question is, like you mentioned about the natural places and the Instagram worthy places. So can you please tell us about some very famous Instagram worthy places, especially the dormant volcanoes that are there in Bali?
Okay, so basically the most famous Instagram worthy places are your Besaki Temple. Besaki Temple पे आप जाते हो, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, वहाँ पे प्रॉपरली गेट है, वहाँ पे गेट ऑफ हेवन है. उसको गेट ऑफ हेवन कहा जाता है. So you should must visit that if you're customer is asking. Then the second are the swings that I would pitch for if someone is looking for an Instagram package. Instagram package is also a thing in Bali. You are going for all these Instagram spots, and then you can go to Nusa Penida for the beaches over there, the Diamond Beach, and also go to Lembongan for their beaches. Just because of the limestone formation. So all these are Instagram these spots. Then the rice terraces. So Tagalong, as I told you about, कि आप वहाँ पे जा सकते हो. Rice terrace है पूरा. कुछ पीछे पूरी greenery है, and there are big coconut trees all around, and it's quite empty all the time, so you won't see a lot of people over there. Then the fourth one I would pitch for are the waterfalls. So temple, the beach, the famous beaches, the swings, the rice terraces, and the waterfalls. So these are the four things that you should always pitch for if you are trying to promote something related to Instagram.
Right. So coming to the next question, and we have two similar questions. So the questions are: is RT-PCR required or not? And the second question is, like in the case of Maldives, so a visa on arrival facility is there, but again the customers need to fill a lot of forms like Air Suvidha and all. So in the case of Bali, can you please explain that if there are any other formal procedures for visa on arrival?
See, all these international countries require you to fill the Air Suvidha form, and for Bali also Air Suvidha will be needed. जैसे आपका अभी भी बाकी कंट्रीज के लिए हो रहा है, वो बाली के लिए भी चाहिए होगा. And secondly, RT-PCR is not required if you are fully vaccinated. So it is always advised, to take double vaccination for any other country, any countries that you're traveling to. All these countries require double vaccination. So double vaccination if is there, then no RT-PCR is required.
Right. So the next question we have is Bali live on the instant quote feature, or the agents are not going to get instant quote as of now?
Okay, so we are going to get the Bali Instant Quote live, in a couple of days. Abhi live nahi hai, but you can of course start sending your queries to your relationship manager, to your account manager, because we have started with bookings already. I mean, I'm very happy to announce that we have started with Bali as a destination, and we have started with getting Bali bookings, Bali queries now. We were getting this request from a long time. We were just waiting for the right time to, open up ho jaye. We should see the response, how is it going, and how we can cater it as a destination. Live nahi abhi instant codes, but it will get live in a couple of days.
Right, and just to add to this, our team is already working on this, and we'll be making it live tomorrow evening. So at the late, you can expect to Bali instant codes to be live by Monday morning. So by then, you can start sending your queries offline, and obviously, you can take instant codes from Monday morning. So coming to the next question, that what is the average cost of flights from India to Bali, and what is the advisable routes? Because on most of the routes, connecting flights are available.
Right. So Bali as a land package, or the hotels and the sightseeing is cheaper. For example, when we talked about the 4 nights and 5 nights, so usually you can cover that 4 nights and 5 nights. And if we talk about 3-star and 4-star properties, that will take you around 20,000, 25 to 30,000 per person. It is that cheap. But talking about flights, so flights are very expensive right now. Flights abhi destination open hui hai. It has just been 1 month as a destination that it got opened up, so flights are still bit on the higher side. But then the customers who are really wanting to go, you should definitely pitch them. You should definitely see some dates that can you can get the best and cheapest fare available for them. The second point that Hanu talked about, how we'll be connecting to the flight. So flights, as I told you, they are not direct, and you can directly ask them, jahan pe layover kam ho, wherever the layover is lesser. For example, maybe Singapore or Malaysia or Thailand. So you can choose either of these three, and mostly these three flights are only available, and mostly these three flights are only the best destination. But there will be times the customer asks for the cheapest price, but they don't know, the labor will be very much. So try to make it in such that they reach Bali within 9 hours, below 9 hours. Of course it can depend, but try to use such a layover that can be very less. So that will be, I guess, the best thing to go to Bali, and they are not very tired already in the airline. They are not very tired already in the flight.
Right. So the next question we have is about the visa cost. So please let us know.
Visa is free of cost in Bali, that I was talking about. So there is nothing to pay. You directly have to go to Bali and you can get your immigration done at the airport, and that is it.
Right. So the next question we have is that if a client is going via Vietnam, so the flight is booked and they have a layover of around 3 hours, 4 hours. So do they require transit visa in that case?
See, 3 hours is very short time for to go outside the country. And I'm not sure about Vietnam as a destination and how Vietnam and Bali have collaborated regarding the visa guidelines. And I would of course advise you always to go for the visa guidelines directly at the country's website to understand more about the same.
Right. So the next question we have is regarding the cost structure of the packages. So if there is a new agent who wants to start Bali, so can we give a round figure that 4 nights का package इतने से start होता है and how much it goes up to?
ओके, सो 4 नाइट्स का पैकेज आपका बहुत आराम से 20,000 एज अ पर पर्सन में आ जाएगा, इंक्लूडिंग योर मील्स, इंक्लूडिंग योर स्टे, इंक्लूडिंग योर साइट सीइंग एंड ट्रांसफर्स.
Okay, and the range can go up to, like, if we are staying in a good 4 star or 5 star resort.
See, when you start with when you stay in 4 star, 5 star, and especially in the villas, then it can go up to 30, 35, 50 also. And as and more you add activities, as and more you add everything in the package, then of course it will go on the higher side, and it can go up to 50 also.
Okay, so coming to the next question, that you mentioned that Bali is not just a destination for honeymooners and couples, but also a very good destination for family. So can you please let us know if there are any special inclusions for kids, like if there is a good zoo or probably an adventure park or a water park, something like that?
Okay. Yes. So there are marine. There is a Bali Marine Park. There is a Ubud Monkey Forest. There is also one water park that the name I can't recall it right now. But yes, there are water parks also available for the kids, and they can of course enjoy the waterfalls, or they can take small tours of the temples that are very kid friendly.
Right. So these were all the questions we received today, Zenith. So before we conclude today's session, I would like to tell audience once again that we still have 1 or 2 minutes left. So if there are any doubts or queries you want to ask, you can still post them in the live chat. So Zenith, would you like to add anything else by the time?
So yeah, that is it from my side. But yes, please, we would be very happy, if you start sharing Bali queries with us, and we will definitely, give you the best and quite competitive prices in the same.
Right. So we have received another 1 or 2 questions and feedbacks. So the first one is that are we going or planning to start Vietnam packages as well?
Vietnam, no, not right now. So yes, that is the answer, not right now.
Okay, so another request we have is again from a lot of our travel agent partners. I can see in the comment section. So all the travel agent partners are asking for this presentation. So just for their, explain, I would like to explain this, that we'll be sharing this presentation over the mail with all the participants who have registered for this webinar. So we shared a form and probably you have filled this form. So if anyone is left to fill that form, I'll share that form again in the live chat and you can fill that form and then you will automatically receive the PPT once we end this session. So this is all from my side. So Zenith, shall we conclude today's session?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending the webinar.
Right. It's a pleasure to have you here, Zenith. Thank you so much for today's session.
Thank you, Manu.
Right. So a special thanks to the audience for taking out time to attend today's session. I hope this session was enriching for you and you will continue to attend all the sessions that are going to happen in future. Also, if you have any suggestions for us or you want us to host sessions on specific topics regards to the travel industry, do let us know. You can mail me, you can mail your account manager, you can tell them via WhatsApp or anything else. You can also visit our events page and leave a comment over there. So thank you so much for being here today, audience. See you in the next session.